Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Scorpio. So, Scorpio, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. So, before I start with your message, maybe I should share something with you because I feel like it's really appropriate to the message itself. This is actually the fourth time that I am trying to record this. And all sorts of things are happening, and I just feel like I'm stumbling through my words, very appropriate and coherent with Mercury retrograde, so no surprise. But I feel like that's actually very pertinent and significant because it relates to how you are trying to practice or to rehearse sharing something to somebody that you are a little bit nervous about. It's like you don't really know the right words, you don't really know how to express your feelings or actually put your emotions into words, right? So it's like maybe you're concerned about how this other person is going to interpret what you're saying, right? How they're going to receive, because I feel like you admire them, you respect them, you look up to them in a way. And I feel like there is this it's not fear per se, because I feel like you have been doing a lot of, self-study, and you've been seeking that path of truth, the path of wisdom, but on your own. Now that you get to share with somebody, it goes to this next level where you feel like you are very, very exposed, right? Very vulnerable, because what you're sharing, Scorpio, is something from the bottom of your heart with the Queen of Cups. And so this Queen of Cups is actually connected to yesterday's collective reading that was talking about attuning with your true heart's desire. And I feel like you are very much in tune. You are very much aligned with your heart's desire. The thing about expressing that, it's something else, right? It's like it's not just about feeling, it's more about communicating that it's the big deal. And that's what you have been trying to figure out with the Hermit. So you've been here, maybe on your own, working through your emotions, trying to sort them out, trying to understand who you are through your feelings, through your intuition, through your emotions, but secluded, right? It's like in a safe and sacred place where nobody is allowed except for you and maybe your connection with the divine, with your higher self, seeking wisdom from your own higher self. But it's like here you are in a contained environment. So it's like nobody was seeing, right? Nobody was really looking. Nobody was paying attention to your feelings. So in a sense, you didn't feel exposed. You didn't feel vulnerable. It's like it was you sorting your emotions with yourself. So yes, you were being completely honest. Yes, you were being completely truthful with yourself. It's like you're not hiding away anything from your own heart, right? It's like you know what you're feeling, the things that are going through your mind, the things that are going through your life. You're not hiding away from that. It's like you're not lying to yourself in a sense. In this sacred space, this safe environment, you know that you can be honest. But the moment that you come out of that, because the Sun card is, coming next, and this is like a total contrast, right? It's like here you were protected, right? Even from this blazing sun, because actually what I heard with the sun was blazing hot. And I feel like that is actually how this other person, they're coming in later on because they're just in the background, right? It's like they're not in the scene yet. They're not the focus. It's like the focus is on you, Scorpio. And I feel like this blazing hot sun is how they are receiving, but it's like you don't know that yet because they haven't answered anything. They haven't said anything. They're just there listening and receiving, right? So it's almost like here you are exposing something from the bottom of your heart. You know that is true because it resonates with your heart, right? And you have been, working things out so that you are in tune with your heart. But what I was seeing was that the moment that you show up, the moment that you come out of this tent is almost like, and the moment that you express your feelings, there is this intense knowingness and maybe like insecurity attached to this knowingness that you should go back inside, that it wasn't the moment, right? That this, you know, confession, it's how it's coming through, it's like it's too soon, it was too premature. It's like you haven't actually figured things out yet, but you're showing up as the queen and you're seeking out truth and wisdom and all of that. So in a sense, you are more in connection with your essence than than maybe you were before, but you don't realize that because it's like you don't realize how bright you're shining, right? It's like they are seeing you as this blazing hot sun. So they find you attractive, really, I want to say. It's like it has that sense of like this sexiness, right? And I know that it's like, maybe a word that takes to another side of things, because I feel like the way that you see this person is with respect. But I want to say it might take a turn that you weren't anticipating, right? And it might go to this romantic side because later on, it's like they're going to make you feel good. So it's like they're going to be even more receptive than what you anticipate. And maybe that's the reason why I was sensing that perhaps, you were in this hermit mode, because this confession, in a sense, right? When it's out in the open, it's like it's going to put you in a very vulnerable position, because they might be not just this person that you admire, but maybe you do have feelings for them, right? Beyond the respect, beyond the admiration, beyond this reference, right, that they are for you, because I feel like that is also embedded in it, right? But with the 5 of Cups, so it's like your instinct is like just saying to you, Scorpio, hide away, right? It's like you're blushing after you confess something that is, very significant for you and very private, right? It's like because you haven't shared that with nobody, especially this one, right? Maybe who is connected to your heart in a way that because it's like there is this sense of familiarity with them, because we're ending with the 6 of Cups and we're going to get there. But you have been on your own, right? Trying to figure out a way to communicate that. And I feel like with the 5 of Cups, the first thing that I saw was you trying to calm yourself down. Because the way that I was seeing the 5 of Cups was like you placing your hands over your heart, because maybe that's something that you have learned right here when you were seeking out this wisdom. Is like a way to deal with your own emotions, maybe to just bring yourself from that tsunami of emotions, just breathe and just center, right? So because usually what I hear with the 5 of Cups, and I did hear with this reading, was the 5 of Cups being like this dropping into your heart, because I feel like here you are exposing your heart, right? So it's like this, it's like bringing your heart to the surface, right? It's like putting your heart out there, because it wasn't, right? It was private, it was a secret, it was safe. But then when it's out in the open, it's like that's when you're shining your brightest light, and you don't even know that, because it makes you feel very seen, right? After maybe a time of complete isolation where you weren't seen, right? And it's not, by many people, it's by this one in particular, because they're coming here as the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is coming through as a very, like a highly spiritual person, right? It's like they have been developing themselves in this spiritual sense as well. pretty much like you have, but maybe it's like maybe you consider them like already like very well developed. It's like they, you know, they maybe you think that they have already figured things out that you haven't, right? That's the reason why you respect them so much and you look up to them. But the thing about the Sun and the Five of Cups, well, the Five of Cups, as I was saying, like came for you as like this instinctive reaction of, you know, instead of hiding away, because that's the first thing that might cross your mind, right? When you feel like you are too vulnerable, or maybe you have, you know, overshared, it's like it's to hide away. But then it's impossible, right? It's like it's impossible to, you know, just, you know, hide away all of your brightness back inside this tent. It's like it doesn't fit anymore. It's like it's now out in the open. So it's like it's pretty much, you know, exposed, right? It's like it's ready to be seen. It's like now you're ready to be seen. So there is no way to tuck you away, right? It's like your full potential is now exposed, right? And now you know it. And now you know it because there is somebody that is reflecting that shine, reflecting that beauty, reflecting that knowledge, that wisdom, right? So everything that you have been working privately, it's bouncing off somebody that is receiving it with their heart open, but also with their mind open, right? Because it's like they have this, it's like they have this deep knowledge. Maybe they're very telepathic, maybe they're very empathetic, right? It's like it's like they understand you. They know where you're coming from, right? It's like they have been through the same path, but now they are on the other side. It's like now they know, you know, the beauty of their full potential shining through, because they are this spiritual person. And this Five of Cups was also like their response. It's like whatever you're sharing, you don't even notice at first, I want to say, because you're so concerned with maybe how they're going to receive it. You know, you're thinking everything at the same time, right? Everything that maybe you have been working maybe for a while on your own, and now that is out there, it's like it's everything like, you know, running through your mind and, you know, very rapidly. But the moment that you calm yourself down, it's like it's coming through as a very quiet and very subtle moment, where it's like they notice that you're nervous, but then they also realize, because they are very in tune, they also realize that it's like you're soothing yourself, right? It's like you're taking care of yourself. It's like you know how to just bring your energy to, you know, this cooler energy, right? So maybe they see that and they admire that in you, although at this point they haven't said anything, right? They're observing, which is part of their wisdom as well. Because the Five of Cups, as I was going to say, it's how you're hitting them straight to their heart, straight to their core. So because it's something very significant for you, very personal perhaps, very intimate, right? This secret that you have never shared with anybody, you know, a confession that you never made to anybody, especially to this one, which you consider in high regard. It's almost like their opinion matters to you, right? So that's the reason why, you know, maybe you thought of them first to share this, but also it's like it really amps, you know, the like the amount of overwhelm that you might feel once it's out there, right? But because it's so personal, it's like it's so honest, because that's been your process, right? Of honesty and like trying to seek your own truth, your own wisdom, your own connection with the divine, with your emotions, like sorting your emotions and being very honest with yourself. So there is no right or wrong way of expressing something. You know, if you're truthful, it's going to come across in a truthful way. And I feel like this is how they're picking up, because it's like you're reaching, it's almost like you don't even know that you're marking them, right? That you are reaching their heart, right? Because it's like the X is like the X on the map, but in this case, the map, it's actually them, right? And this spot that you're marking, that you're leaving a mark because you're reaching, right? It's like you're reaching straight to their core, straight to their heart. And they know it. They know it. And it's almost like, it's kind of like, you know, if you didn't know how much they admire you back, it's like you're about to know that. Because I feel like how your sharing is landing in them, in their heart, in their mind, is something that really shifts your world, because the world card is coming next. And I feel like this has to do also with the sun, because it's right above it. And it's because you don't realize how bright you're shining, because it's like here you are with this blazing hot sunlight, right? It's like this spotlight, but it's not like it's directing to you, because otherwise you would see it coming down to you. It's like it's you are the spotlight, you are emanating all of this light, and it's reaching them, right? Because they have like this tuned antenna, right? But the thing about the world is that it's like they have the keys to the world. That's what I was hearing from these two cards. It's like they have keys to the world, maybe to your world or to their world. It's like they have keys to the world. That's what I heard. And the thing about the world and the sun is that the way that I was seeing the rays, it's like this is you shining your light, right? It's like you are, it's like powerfully coming out of this shadow, or out maybe dark night of the soul. It's like out of confinement, and then you're out there. It's like, so you're going to the outside world, but the world is actually embracing you, because it's almost like I'm seeing these rays as, you know, the blanket that are covering the world, and actually this is coming from them. So maybe they have like the keys to their own world. It's like they're embracing whatever you're sharing, which is like beautiful and gorgeous and uplifting and just so honest, right? So spontaneous. But it's almost like they are taking you into their world, right? Because it's like maybe you had like your own shelter, right? Sometimes I see the tent as like a temporary shelter. So maybe this was a temporary phase where you needed to, you know, be by yourself. But now that you're ready to come out of this situation, out of this confinement, out of this isolation, and you're ready to share something really significant for you to somebody that is really, really important to you, it's almost like maybe you're afraid that they're not going to welcome you in their world, but here they are. It's like handing you the key to their world, right? And enveloping you and saying like, you're protected in my world, right? It's like you don't have to be in this confined space or this temporary space. It's like come to my world. And the moment that you enter, I feel like you are, before they say anything, right? Before they say this, it's like you know already a way to soothe yourself. So you are, it's like that, you know, blushing moment that, maybe you're ashamed for having overshared, or maybe you are just second guessing yourself. But it's like when you realize that it's okay, that this needed to be expressed, and you just place your hands over your heart and you're just calming yourself down, it's like that's when you strike them, in a sense, because the Six of Cups is talking about a remembrance both for you and for them. And this is where the familiarity is coming from. It's like, even though you respect them, you admire them, you look up to them, maybe you don't have like, that much intimacy with them yet, it's like you feel good around them. Maybe that's the reason why you thought of them first, to share this. And the way that you're just being you, like the wise, full potential you, right? in such a natural way, and you're hitting the right spot in their heart. It's like they're opening their world to you because they also feel good around you, right? It's almost like there is this mutual acknowledgement, but it's kind of like this recognition of, you know, perhaps a past life connection. But it also has to do with you just finding harmony in a world that is way bigger, right? It's like you were in a restricted environment, not that it was, maybe it was exactly what you needed, right? Because of protection, because you were figuring yourself out, because you were sorting through your emotions. So maybe this was exactly the perfect place that you needed to be before you could really expose yourself to somebody that it's going to change your world, right? But it's like in a way that is harmonious and beautiful, right? It's like they think you're beautiful. You see them as a beautiful human being most of all, right? Because there's also like this spirituality. It's like that's the first thing that you look up to them for. It's like that's the main reference. And the familiarity is just a bonus, right? It's like maybe you end up having a crush on them just because it's like it makes you feel embraced, right? It's like your rays are being embraced. It's like your radiance is being embraced. It's like they don't want you to go back to, you know, hiding away or going backstage again or going, you know, going to be on your own, right? It's like they don't want you to be alone. I was going to say they don't want you to be lonely. I don't feel like they're seeing you as a lonely person, though. I feel like they're seeing you as a very dedicated person, committed to your own path of self-discovery and self-study, right? Just improving your own skills, improving your own, like who you are as a human, right? So there is a lot of admiration and like mutual respect, but you didn't realize that they felt this way about you. It's only when maybe they share some sort of like this, maybe they have like this intimate confession, right? From maybe this past life recognition because they're so in tune. So this is gorgeous because I feel like this is unexpected, Scorpio. And this is happening because it's like you're soothing yourself so that you're now ready to receive the feedback, to hear what they have to say, right? Whatever they have to say. It's like you're no longer wanting to hide away because they're making sure that you feel safe in an open world, right? In their open world, because they have like the key to make you feel good even in a big environment, right? Or in a vulnerable position. Maybe that's, you know, a way to read it also. So Scorpio, I am going to pull more cards for you as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.